and numerals. That will come handy to talk about our chord progressions. Just know that these are called degrees. The first degree, second degree, third degree, etc. The fifth degree is a bit special. It's called the dominant, but we'll get back to it. By stacking thirds on top of each other or taking one note every two, you can create chords. But you don't have to stop at a triad with 3 notes. You can add more. When you add more notes to your triad, you're creating an extended chord. If you add one extra note, you add the 7th, so that's a 7th chord. If you add another extra note, you add the 9th, so that's a 9th chord. Another extra note and you're adding an 11th, so that's called an 11th chord. Another extra note and you're adding a 13th note, so that's called a 13th chord. You get it. If I try to make a 13th chord from C in the C major scale, that makes C, E, G, B, D, F, A. So technically this is the 13th chord. Yeah. Again, the nature of these extended chords will depend on the interval between each of their notes. So let's define all these intervals once and for all. Every interval is defined by the distance between a note of the chord and the root note. Some intervals will be called perfects. If they are extended by a semitone, they are called augmented, and if they are shortened by a semitone, they are called diminished. Then some intervals are called either major or minor, with a semitone between the two states. If a major interval is extended by one semitone, it becomes augmented, and if a minor interval is shortened by one semitone, it becomes diminished. But these are more rare instances. To know which intervals are perfect or major or minor, just remember the C major scale, as everything seems to be built around that. That's all the white key on the keyboard. In the C major scale, the 4th and the 5th are perfect intervals, and the 2nd, the 3rd, the 6th and the 7th are all major intervals. From there, it gives you all the reference intervals you need to know if your 6th or 7th is minor or major. For example, if you have 4 tones between 2 notes, that's like the interval between a C and a G sharp or A flat. So that's an interval of either an augmented 5th or a minor 6th. For the 7th, it is a major 7th if the note is 5 tones and a half above the root note. That's a semitone below its octave, or if it is 2 tones above the perfect 5th.